A representative from the São Paulo Grand Prix organisation was summoned to the stewards following a spectator track invasion prior to the end of the Grand Prix last Sunday. In a similar fashion to the Australian Grand Prix, the stewards had summoned the event organisers over fans having access to the circuit before the race's conclusion. According to a stewards report, they claimed that a large group of spectators managed to break the security lines and access the runoff area at turn 1 while the race was finishing and cars were still on track. The race organisers have admitted failures in their security protocols and safety measures and will now conduct a thorough investigation into the incident that could have led to a disaster given the safety risks involved. Following the summons meeting, the stewards have urged the race organisers to produce a report by the end of January to detail how they will avoid a similar incident in the future, as well as request an FIA review and a referral to the World Motorsports Council for further investigation. Some spectators were seen climbing fences and squeezing through tiny gaps to get onto the track for the end of the race. As well as a thorough investigation into the incident, the FIA has asked the Australian Grand Prix Corporation to produce an extensive remediation plan. Now, in these situations, normally the outcome ends up being a promise from the Grand Prix organisers that it will never happen again, and that the organisers usually get a fine of some sort. We will wait for the outcome, but GPFans.com and GPFans Global will have the news first and foremost as soon as we get it. To the action actually on the track this weekend, and Aston Martin's Fernando Alonso pulled off a last lap stunner at the Brazilian Grand Prix, snatching a podium place from Sergio Perez in a nail-biting conclusion to the race, with the Spanish driver dedicating his podium to the Aston Martin family back at the factory. The Spanish driver's unexpected move on the final lap left spectators in awe, sealing an impressive finish for Alonso and Aston Martin. The Spanish driver had been under immense pressure from Perez throughout the race, with the Mexican driver trailing him for what felt like a lifetime for the Spaniard. When Perez finally overtook him with just 2 laps to go, it appeared that Alonso's chances of securing a podium had faded away, but on the final lap, Alonso used the DRS zone to retake the position before holding off the Mexican driver by 0.05 of a second to finish in the top 3. The unexpected podium finish is a significant moment for Aston Martin. The team had faced challenges in recent months, seeing them lose out on 4th place in the Constructors' Championship. This is a phenomenal result for the team, said Alonso. This podium is for them, for everyone, the factory, and we keep fighting until the last lap. Can it turn into a grandstand finish for the team to bookend the season nicely after such an impressive start? Well, we'll see in the last few races, and Las Vegas is just around the corner. George Russell has expressed his disbelief at Mercedes' performance after he was forced to retire from the Brazilian Grand Prix. The Brit had been running around in 11th after a poor race for Mercedes in which their pace appeared to have deserted them, and the team took the decision to retire the car as there was a potentially terminal problem with the engine, which may have caused the power unit to blow if they'd carried on running. I'm still not sure what that is as yet, said the British driver, discussing the issues that hampered his weekend and Grand Prix. But the pace just hasn't been there. We thought yesterday may have been a one-off, but clearly it wasn't. We need to regroup and try to understand it, because 12 months ago, this was our strongest race of the year. A disappointing race weekend then for Mercedes, Lewis Hamilton missing out on the top 3, and of course George Russell retiring earlier, the wheels slightly falling off as we get to the last few races of the season then for the Silver Arrows. McLaren seem to be finishing the season on a high, with Lando Norris once again on the podium. No one's stopping Max Verstappen and Red Bull. Your driver of the weekend? Well, let us know in the comments section below. GPFans.com and GPFans Global for all of the latest news and views from the world of Formula 1.